No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you... Look, we've been at this for hours, and we are getting absolutely nowhere.
Okay, fine. How about this then? Why don't we let them decide?
Them? Them who? Audiences, when did you get here? Sneaking around like that, you're going to do me a mischief. Maybe if I didn't spend so much time looking slightly to the side, I would actually notice things. But anyway, what do you suggest?
Who, me? Oh, well, funny you should ask, because I did find this one video, and it's really stupid. I think you may know the guy, actually. Well, not know him, but you certainly know who he is. How about this? Why don't we each make a video about him, and then they get to vote? For me.
Okay, sounds good. You got that? You're going to watch both of our videos and then pick out whoever's video is the worst. I want to be clear, whoever's is the worst wins, which is me, obviously.
Ah, whoever's video is worst. Worst? Worst. Is there meant to be a T on the end of that? I'm not really sure, because in my humble opinion, being educated is overrated. It's much more important to be funny.
Good job we're both that, eh? And not just stupid and incompetent.
Creaky blindy catchphrase. Oh, wait, I wasn't meant to read that bit, was I? I told you, Sick, I don't do scripts. And I'm not the creaky blindy, you stupid cat.
Ah, what a pro. Anyway, let's do this.
You know, I have found so many crazy things that...
Ah, you didn't tell me it was Roger, you sneaky Welsh git. He knows Mud Fossil University videos are my forte, along with being handsome, famous, and good at the sex. Thankfully, just because something is what I am best at, doesn't mean I'm actually good at it. So we will show him, and goddammit Roger, no you haven't found any crazy things. You have found so many normal things, and then given the world's most wacky explanations possible, TM, and going with that as the actual explanation. That's not the same thing, you big kook.
Now, I almost feel like I am going crazy.
Is that a moment of self-awareness from Roger, that maybe instead of all the impossible claims he has made being true, maybe he just believes some really silly crap? Like, I don't think he's actually crazy. Most people who believe really silly things aren't. It's usually an amalgam of cognitive bias and experiences, perceived or otherwise, that reinforce that bias. Until you get... well, what is it today, Roggett?
Because I almost think that there's a possibility that these things were not manufactured by people, they were living creatures.
See, he's already making ridiculous claims. You almost think... that's the most absurd thing I think has ever passed your lips. Almost. More like never. And what was that? Something about the Terracotta Pie army being living creatures? I mean, okay, that's confusing. Partly because they are human shaped, so... I mean, if he thought it was the humans, you'd think he would say that. I am very curious as to what he thinks these things actually are. You know, apart from what they are. Because that's like... what they are.
They were living entities. Now, watch what she says, and I'm going to show you some, what looks like it might be biology. I have no idea. I haven't touched these. I haven't been there.
And you would think that that might give you a notion as to the fact that maybe you don't have a goddamn clue what you're talking about in regards to them. And maybe, I don't know, don't make a video making absurd claims about them being this, that or the other. But no, Roger's too smart not to show himself to be a massive cretin. Only stupid people understand reality.
I need to see the microscopic shots of the tissues. Then I'd be able to tell.
Would you though? I mean, you think that every rock on the planet is some kind of flesh or another. Using your mud fossil brand science of pointing and saying something nutty. And calling it flesh is basically presupposing that it is flesh. So anything that you see, no matter how tenuously flesh-like, is going to prove that it is in fact le flesh. And all circles back round to what I said about reinforcing bias. Basically, Roger, stop it.
Watch.
And they find some pieces of the pottery.
You see this? These things are not hollow.
Right. Okay, I mean, it actually looks kind of hollow from that image, but even if it isn't, so what? They were made by an extremely powerful emperor from the way back when times. I don't think making them solid would have been a huge deal. It's not like these days where you can save 0.2 pence on 50 million units by removing the last bit of structural integrity from some product, saving your company 10,000 quid to be spent on luxury toilet paper and making the products themselves less robust than said fancy bog roll. No, I'm not bitter about anything. So yeah, no real profit motive to make a low quality post-death fighter boys. Although one would think if they did make a lower quality product, the punishment would have been less than fun.
They have something inside of them, and that looks to me just like what you would see on a shoulder tendon.
Are you sure about that? Because using my extremely in-depth technomological tools, the same ones that you are using in fact, of looking, but also adding in an actual comparison, a thing that I don't see you doing very often for some reason. Like, oh, I don't know, it's going to make you look completely stupid. But, yep, that's not a shoulder tendon. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that's some kind of rocky substance. Perhaps terracotta, you bloody banana.
And then this kind of stuff here is black and so forth.
What? You mean the shadows? Yeah, no, it must actually be the evil mists of vicinity of obscenity in your eyes, and not like an absence of light, because that's how light works.
100% you could tell one way or the other. That's all I'm caring about. It's one way or the other. Is it possible? And I see signs that show me that I see things that say that that's crazy. There's no way in the world that's
complete gibberish. Seriously, dude, what even was that? And again, I'm going to have to knock Roger's fans here. You people take this man seriously when he talks like that, saying a whole lot of words and a whole lot of nothing. I mean, I do that sometimes too, but I do it to take the piss, or because I'm drunk. He does it because he's a doddering fool who really just has no idea what he's doing. I still cannot get over that one dude calling him a pioneer. Yeah, a pioneer of horse shit.
And then, because I mean, they don't look real, but I'm going to show you some things that don't look real, and they are real, and I'm 100% real.
Worries, and the team.
You see this? This could literally be skin.
Yes, Roger, it's well made and looks like what it's supposed to. That doesn't mean that is what it is. It means that people making it were incredibly talented. In fact, the making of the Terracotta army is fascinating and was effectively a proto-mass production process, with techniques the derivatives of can still be seen today on real production lines. It's actually really amazing without having to be some nonsensical gubbins about these being living creatures. Which, aside from the fact a completely horrifying idea, we just know that that's not what they are.
I am serious.
Lee absurd? Yes, we know, Rog. Keep it up. It's hilarious.
I'm going to show you a couple things, and then you'll understand why I say making these statements.
I doubt that. Well, I doubt I will understand your thought process, that is. I know why you're saying them. You're saying them because for some reason you're convinced that you have a deep insight into the reality of the world that the rest of us, bar your very special audience, can't see. And that the people in charge, and I say that with heavy quotes because the people in charge probably don't care, but the people who know what they are talking about and actually do test these things or research them or whatever, and basically do bother to actually examine them in the real life, are lying about their findings for some reason. AKA no reason, AKA they aren't doing that. And maybe if you actually went to see these places and did some real science, you might actually find that they are right. Obviously, at least in the cases where you can go there. I can't imagine anyone would let you anywhere near this place, as you would likely go around jabbing the soldiers as hard as you can with your sausage fingers, a stick, or for some reason a feather, like you do with your poor monitors. You monster.
Originally in ancient China, like 3,000 years ago. They believe the afterlife.
All right, now, she says they believed in the afterlife, like it's not real, and...
Cough, because it isn't. Cough, cough. Checkmate, theists.
They went ahead and took their servants with them to the afterlife. Now, what I want you to look at is what you want to look for is colors of blood, reds in the area where there might have been an artery or somewhere.
Somewhere on the, as we seem to be going with humans, somewhere on the human body where there might be an artery. So basically literally any part of the human body, you absolute plonk. I want to point out again that Roger's fans talk about him having science on his side when he doesn't know that the body is filled with arteries. This is like the most basic human being construction stuff. Little kids know this. Unbelievable. Well, it wouldn't be if, you know, Roger wasn't Roger and literally less educated than a peanut.
And then you also look for these tissue types, which I will show you. They call it feldspar. It's really fascia, and it's very, very easy to see.
And definitely isn't just rock or Roger again using his pareidolia superpowers to see things that aren't there and having nothing but his own complete lack of understanding as evidence.
Now she's saying that the elite, when the elite died, like a king or noble person, they took these people with them. But now then she makes a determination, oh, they must have just stopped doing that and made these out of terracotta.
She makes the determination. I'm pretty sure that if she's not just a presenter or guide, but a historian / archaeologist or whatever other fields would be interested in the site, she is not literally the only person doing this, and will be putting forth the combined determinations of countless experts in not only this army itself, but the history of the region. This is another one of those things that makes Roger such a joke. He's a one-man research machine. But no one else does that. Not really. Not with big, interesting things like this. So they catch others' mistakes and try to come to the most accurate determination possible by pooling resources. And don't forget, these are experts, or at the very least, people qualified in something. But you sit in your own corner of the internet with your audience telling you how clever you are. Your mistakes never ever get caught by them because they are just as incompetent as you. It's really, really sad when you think about it. Until the arrogance comes in, then it goes back to being funny.
Well, terracotta is clay. That's what we're made out of, is clay.
And the elites.
Wait, what? What? He just says that like, oh yeah, basic science fact, people are made from clay. A, no they f***ing aren't. And B, no really, people are not made from clay, you moron. Where did you even hear that? Alright, I always forget. Science guy Roger, with all his science, gets a lot of his science from religious texts. You know, those extremely scientific books that always get all the science right and are never written by barely literate morons or anything. God damn it.
Died, like king or noble people, they died, and they normally buried their servants with them. So the human sacrifice, and people start criticize the human sacrifice. So they think probably use the terracotta figures as a substitute.
That's just total conjecture. There's absolutely no way in the world that they could make that determination. There's nothing written about these as far as I know.
So, there's a lot to unpack here, isn't there? First off, Roger, you really, really want to accuse other people of conjecture? You of the point and say proofs? Really? Not exactly a good plan, man. Secondly, I don't know if it's conjecture or not, but the thing is, these are people who have actually been there and studied this. And you are Roger, a man I am not entirely convinced has ever left his house, let alone the country. Which leads into, thirdly, the sum total of your research on these things being what you can Google. And while Google is more than good enough to learn what experts say about something, it's generally not that great in doing actual historical research, as in discovering new historical facts that no one has ever seen. So I want to know why you think you know better when you clearly have nothing.
The only thing that's here, well, I guess there is some things written about it. But I don't know if they wrote that they were terracotta. I don't know. I really just started looking into this.
Oh my god, Roger, are you serious? You are like a parody of yourself. You don't know what you're talking about because I have not seen the research you are quoting. I mean, I literally only just heard about this topic 5 minutes ago, but I am pretty sure I'm already an expert. That's what you sound like, Roger. That's what you always sound like. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you have literally said those words in that order, verbatim, unironically.
But I am seeing things.
Should probably seek professional help. I mean, if it's things that aren't there. If someone tells you that they're seeing things, it might just be that they have that vision thing I've heard so much about. Or when someone tells you that they are hearing voices in their heads, well, good. Let me know when you're hearing them in the tips of your fingers. That'd be weird.
That I think need to be looked into a little closer. Because I literally right at this moment, I am almost the only one on the face of planet Earth that understands the biology of geology.
It's almost like you are pursuing a line of inquiry that doesn't go anywhere because it's bullshit, so no one else is pursuing it. Now, I'm not saying that looking into anything in particular is bad, even if most do ignore it. But you can't also start saying that everyone else is wrong, whilst also, and I know I keep saying this constantly, but you've got nothing. Back to the pioneer thing. It's like calling someone a pioneer of proving that chicken eggs are actually Formula 1 cars. They're not. Clearly they are not. And acting like everyone else is the idiot for telling you that you're wrong is just about the most arrogant one can get, whilst also being a massive idiot.
Geology is biology. I've shown it 1,000 times.
You haven't even shown it once, Roger, and you never will. Can you guess why? Put on your thinking cap and get back to me on that one. Cheers.
And I want to see those things. I want to see some microscopic shots of the tissue types. Or, well, not when I say tissue types. Of the clay. Let's put it that way. Because I'm going to show you some things that knock your socks off. And they're real.
Well, at least he finally corrected himself on the flesh thing. And yes, Roger, they will be real. But that doesn't mean making up what they are and describing them as something that they are not. Does not change that fact. Right, I think I'm done for today. Go check out Creaky Blinder's video. It will be much better than mine. Hint, hint. So don't forget to vote Sir Sick for the worst video. Also, subscribe to him because he makes all sorts of other stupid content just like me. Bye! Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the